CTV3 News. Bicyclist hospitalized after hit-and-run incident near San Victor Village in Corozal. Sugar stakeholders call for a state of emergency amid Fusarium crisis. Investing in community, $140,000 water system launched in San Narciso, Corozal. And GOB holds sensitization session on TRDE License Act of 2024. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, November 5th, 2024.
This is my first visit to Belize as foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Belize-Taiwan's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast in Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A 59-year-old cyclist is recovering in the hospital after being struck by an unidentified vehicle early this morning in a hit-and-run incident. Hipólito Kawich, a resident of San Victor Village, was en route to San Narciso at approximately 4 a.m. when the accident occurred, leaving him with multiple injuries. According to initial reports, Kawich frequently makes the journey to San Narciso for work in Orange Walk and was riding his bicycle as usual when disaster struck. The impact is said to have flung Kawich off his bike, causing him to sustain serious injuries. Family members arrived at the scene shortly after dawn, only to find Kawich lying on the ground, bleeding and in distress. In a concerning delay, an ambulance was reportedly unavailable, prompting officers on the scene to allow family members to transport Kawich to the Corozal Community Hospital in a private vehicle. The long distance from the rural area to the town may have contributed to the slow response time. As of late this evening, hospital officials confirmed that Kawich remains in stable condition, although details regarding the extent of his injuries have not been disclosed. The Corozal Police Department is actively investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. At this time, no suspects have been detained, and authorities are urging anyone with information about the vehicle involved to come forward. For several weeks, the northern sugar industry has been working together to fight off a fungal infection which has been spreading in cane fields in the Corozal district. This infection, known as Fusarium, has been wreaking havoc on sugarcane crops, causing widespread wilting and yellowing. The situation is dire, with the infection already affecting approximately 50% of the fields in the Corozal district and 98% of the plants in the affected area. A special task force has been formed to help investigate the infection, further to determine the best way forward for the industry. As the situation continues to deteriorate with the real possibility of the infection affecting fields in the Orange Walk district, industry stakeholders, including the millers and 3 of the cane farmer associations, issued a letter to the Prime Minister in late October requesting that the government urgently declare a state of emergency due to the outbreak of Fusarium fungal disease. In their letter, the stakeholders call for immediate action, stating, and we quote, "It is imperative that a strong multi-sectoral response be designed, resourced, and implemented with a sense of urgency to avoid the demise of the industry. Other agricultural commodities such as citrus and shrimp have seen sharp production declines due to diseases left unaddressed," unquote. In an earlier interview with Agriculture Minister Honorable Jose Mai, he addressed this request, adding that while it was taken under consideration by Cabinet, our laws do not provide for such an action to be taken at this time.
That there was a request for us to declare a state of emergency, but that does not. There's no law for us. There's not provision in the law for us to do that in agriculture. I think NEMO under the Disaster Act can declare a state of emergency, but for floods, fires, not for any phytosanitary or animal health disease. And so that is the situation with the legal part of it. Agriculture does not have any legal authority to do so.
Declaring the situation a state of emergency, according to Minister Mai, some believe would provide access to funding. However, this is not always the case, says Mai.
People believe that when you declare a state of emergency, you have access to funding.
Okay.
Right? And if you listen when you have hurricanes, we declare a state of emergency because the United Nations, but many times that doesn't happen. You know, the fact that you declare a state of emergency doesn't mean you get money. It doesn't work like that. And so we had last storm, I think, and it was declared a state of emergency, but we got like $100,000. So that does not necessarily mean that you will get money. It gives you access, but we cannot do it legally. There's no legal provision for us to do it, Ministry of Agriculture.
And even with additional funding, Minister Mai says there is much that needs to be done at home until we are able to adequately manage this ongoing threat.
And secondly, is that if you get this money, what will you do with it? There is no magic bullet for Fusarium. If we are to all start spraying fungicide for Fusarium, there will not be enough fungicides in the country because 40,000 acres is a lot, right? And secondly, it will be a very expensive and environmentally unfriendly practice to use fungicide. So we have, it is not a single bullet, it's not a single cure. It has to be an integrated approach, right? We have to use probably biological control, the different organisms. We have to look at resistant varieties. We have to look at different cultural practices. We have to look at water, drainage and irrigation. Because right now with the amount of water on the fields, the fungus is spreading faster, right? We have to look at technology. If we go in and spray with the pumps, we are spreading disease. It sticks on our clothing and we spread it to our fields. So it has to be looking at probably aerial spraying with drones. And so it's a whole integrated system. There's no magic bullet. I wish that there was something that we could go to the store, buy it, apply it, and we have no problem. It's not like that. So it has to be an entire program we have to put in place. So we have asked the technicians to touch base with our partners in development for them to help guide us how we can develop a program.
It is of note that the largest cane farmer association, the BSCFE, was not a signatory to this letter issued to the Prime Minister on October 28. A man from Ladyville recently released on bail due to an ammunition-related charge has once again found himself in custody after allegedly being discovered with additional ammunition and assaulting a police officer. The individual, identified as 22-year-old Lennox Linford Gentle, who works in maintenance and resides on Mirage Road, faced charges for possession of unlicensed ammunition, aggravated assault of a police officer, and inflicting injury. The events unfolded on October 31st, 2024, when law enforcement officials reportedly seized 2 live rounds of 9mm ammunition, along with 2 rounds from the Anguilla brand at Gentle's home. According to the police, the ammunition was concealed within a sofa. However, Gentle claimed the rounds were found near a post outside his residence, allegedly that they had been planted there. During his arraignment, Gentle initially entered a guilty plea, expressing a desire to avoid incarceration. Shortly thereafter, he contested the police narrative, prompting the magistrate to reject his plea. Since there was no option for bail on the charge of unlicensed ammunition possession, Gentle was ordered to remain in custody until December 30th, 2024. On November 1st, while still in custody, Gentle reportedly became combative, allegedly striking and biting Officer Wilmer Acosta during an attempt to remove his handcuffs, which resulted in an injury to Acosta's hand. Gentle, for his part, claimed that he merely spat at the officer and accused law enforcement of mistreatment while he was restrained. Currently, Gentle remains in custody as he awaits his next court appearance. The government of Belize GOB is making strides to clarify the objectives of the Trade License Act of 2022, which has raised concern among small business owners since its introduction in May. In an effort to alleviate confusion surrounding the law, the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, and Local Government held the first of several public sensitization sessions today at the Ramiro Ramirez Complex in San Narciso Village. The Trade License Act seeks to impose taxes on businesses that meet specific criteria set forth by the GOB. However, since its announcement, many local entrepreneurs have expressed anxiety over its implications. Today's session began at 5 p.m. today, and according to Honorable Ramiro Ramirez, its aim is to address concerns and provide clearer insights into the legislation's goals and benefits.
The session is about the act. There's a lot of on the street, a lot of church, we call it church in Belize, right? The chisme. That people, business owners, especially the small ones, they're going to pay a certain amount. And that is not true. The act is very clear. If you're let us use a peddler, as how the UDP is trying to convert this in political. The peddlers, that means a peddler means a person with a bicycle or something like that we're going to charge them more than $300 for that license. It's not true. The law is very clear, saying that if you're a peddler, you're going to apply for a license to sell. And the discretion of the board will use your bike, how much you can sell. It can be the maximum can be $300, and the minimum can be up to $1, right? So if you're doing a business, let us say a very fruitful business that you are selling more than $1,000 per day, well, they're going to use the discretion to put you the maximum that is $300 per year. The UDP is saying per day. It's not true. It's per year. You divide $300, that is the maximum. You divide it by 365 days. So how much you are paying? Less than $1. less than $1. So let us not confuse the people. So that's why we're doing this session this evening at 5 o'clock here at the complex. Make people be well informed what is happening.
As of now, Belize comprises of 194 distinct villages that can benefit from the provisions of the Trade License Act 2022. According to Ramirez, understanding the facts surrounding this legislation is critical, particularly concerning how the revenues generated will be utilized.
So what we're trying to do is to make sure that all village councils, that we have 194 village councils, that the ministry, rural transformation and community development, local government and labor is subsidizing them, giving them some help, right? We cannot continue like that because it's taxpayers' money. And those people that are going on the villages selling, so they're taking all the money to their pocket. Now we're saying, give something back to the community. If you want to come and sell something in San Narciso, well, donate something to the village. Make the village clean their areas, do whatever they need to do. But again, we need good management. We need value for money. It's not just pay your dollar and the dollar forget and somebody goes away with that dollar. No, we need to fix. And you can take a look of this area. It's clean, right? From the complex up to here. It's clean. And who maintains that? The village council.
Following this initial session, the ministry plans to hold subsequent meetings in different locations, with the next one set to take place in Orange Walk. Coming up next, World Diabetes Day. Local efforts in Belize promote nutrition and prevention awareness. Stay tuned.
This is my first visit to Belize as a foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Belize's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Authorities apprehended a suspect in connection with a reported sexual assault that took place in the early hours of Monday morning. The incident was brought to light when a 23-year-old female resident reported the assault to the Key Cocker police station later that day. According to the victim's statement, she was asleep in her bed around midnight when a male individual entered her room and allegedly molested her. After the initial encounter, the victim turned on the lights and recognized the assailant as a male resident who lives in the same house but in a different room. The suspect reportedly left moments later and returned to his own room. The police have confirmed the investigations are ongoing. She was reported missing on Monday. However, tonight we confirmed with the family of Myra Rodriguez, who had been reported missing since October 31st, that she was found safe late this evening. Family and friends of the 41-year-old had reported her missing since she had not been seen or heard from since Thursday last. With the help of social media and the police, today her family received information that she was seen in the community of Guinea Grass. Checks by family members confirmed that it was her and that she was safe and in good health. She has since returned to her home in San Jose Village here in the Orange Walk district. A small yet significant ceremony was held today in San Narciso to celebrate the successful conclusion of the project titled Building Sustainable Communities Using Renewable Energy Sources, Ensuring Potable Drinking Water Access, and Safer Communities, Belize. This initiative demonstrates the Brazilian administration's ongoing commitment to its Plan Belize vision, which aims to cultivate an affordable and resilient nation. Attendees at the ceremony included key government ministers, representatives from the Taiwan Embassy, officials from the Comisión Centroamericana de Ambiente y Desarrollo, CICA, and environmental officers who gathered alongside the community members of San Narciso to witness the impact of the 140,000 Belize dollars generously donated by the Taiwan government. This funding was utilized to install solar panels in the community, significantly reducing reliance on electricity from Belize Electricity Limited, BEL. Honorable Ramon Cervantes, the Minister of Sustainable Development and Climate Change, emphasized the importance of this project, which will not only foster sustainable living, but also ensure that residents have access to consistent energy and water, reporting that the solar panels will provide 24/7 energy access for the community.
It's a inauguration of the solar system for the San Narciso Water Board as part of a project that was funded by the Taiwan Embassy through ICDF and SICA. And today it culminates with this project with this solar system that produces 22 kilowatts of electricity, and it was supposed to run without the normal electricity, without a diesel engine or something, strictly solar.
So this means then that San Narciso will have potable water 24/7.
Yes, they will have 24/7. Mm-hmm.
Investment represents a turning point for the residents of San Narciso and Louisville, who have experienced rapid growth in recent years. For his part, Honorable Ramiro Ramirez, Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, and Local Government, urged the community to remain diligent in paying their water bills to maintain the sustainability of these new resources.
This morning, we give some pipes to certain villages, like Caledonia, again, San Victor, Concepcion, Carmelita. And this afternoon, we're inaugurating a solar system for the water system of San Narciso, Louisville. We have more than 1,000 people connected to the grid of this water system. And of course, I know and we know that San Narciso and Louisville is growing, so we need to do more expansion on water system. Like today, with this new project of the solar, is because we are paying more than $6,000 a month for electricity. So we came with this idea, thanks to Edgar Eck and the Minister of Monchi Cervantes with Taiwan UNICEF. They help us a lot, giving a project of more than $140,000. Yes, we're still working 50-50 with the BEL and the solar. Why? Because We need to buy batteries. That is another couple thousands of dollars. And once we get those batteries, the solar system will be working only solar, not current, not with BEL. This month, the average of $6,000+ that we used to pay to BEL, it dropped to $2,000. So it's a benefit for all of us, especially for the community. But I will encourage the users of water that they have to pay their bills, because we have a lot of persons or families that they have arrears more than a year. So we need to bring that to the attention to the consumers.
In the country overseeing the works on behalf of the Comisión Centroamericana de Ambiente y Desarrollo is Carlos Gonzalez, who says the project falls in line with one of the organization's main objectives, which is to contribute to sustainable development in Central America, strengthening cooperation and integration arrangements for environmental management.
En los países del SICA. Los países beneficiarios, en este caso Belice, tocó escoger cuáles serían las áreas de intervención para proyectos nacionales, entre varias actividades que hemos hecho, tanto nacionales como regionales, y este proyecto viene a conjuntar ese apoyo, ¿verdad? El usar energías renovables para suplir un servicio como es tan vital como es el agua en este lugar. ¿Cuál es lo importante de este proyecto? Que este proyecto pueda brindar, ser un proyecto modelo, ¿verdad? Aquí en la comunidad de San Narciso, ser modelo para desarrollarse a otras comunidades en Belice y ser insignia, y eso es lo que esperamos con este proyecto. También es importante hacer notar que es un proyecto del esfuerzo de todos. Si bien la República y el pueblo de China-Taiwán nos ha facilitado los fondos, pero a través de la organización SICA se ha coordinado conjuntamente con la Comisión Centroamericana de Ambiente y Desarrollo, a través del gobierno de Belice, a través de los ministerios, con el Ministerio de Cambio Climático y el Ministerio de Desarrollo Rural, aquí en territorio, y la comunidad que apoya, ¿verdad? También tenemos la Junta de Agua que está trabajando para ir mejorando cada vez el servicio. Entonces, es un trabajo de todos, y eso es muy importante de notarlo, que esos son proyectos de servicio a la comunidad y que tienen un trabajo conjunto de todas las personas para poder llevarlo a cabo. Cada uno desde su espacio va contribuyendo, pero se requiere el trabajo de todos para que esto funcione, y esa es solo la primera piedra que esperamos que siga incrementando y siga facilitando y que sea ejemplo, ¿verdad?, para todas las comunidades en Belice. Desde aquí.
Corresponding ceremony is scheduled to take place tomorrow in the village of Belize-White, highlighting the ongoing commitment to sustainable development across the region. Around the globe, November 14th is celebrated as World Diabetes Day. Each year, the day is set aside to raise awareness surrounding diabetes mellitus and its dangers. Since the start of the month, various entities in our community have come together to raise awareness and share some important information about this disease, which is affecting more and more people in Belize. Today, members of the Orange Walk Lions Club and the Northern Regional Hospital visited our morning show to share some information surrounding the proper nutrition for diabetics and the importance of caring for one's feet to prevent unnecessary amputations. For diabetics, proper nutrition is crucial in order to maintain a healthy life and prevent complications associated with this disease.
Okay. Cuando hablamos de diabetes en general, se damos recomendaciones en cuanto a la cantidad de carbohidratos que debemos de estar consumiendo, ¿ok? Porque cada persona es diferente. Para personas la glucosa puede aumentar demasiado, para personas puede ser muy bajo, pero en la mayoría de los casos los pacientes con diabetes siempre mantienen el azúcar o la glucosa alto. Entonces, tenemos un plato que nos muestra adecuadamente cómo deben de ser las porciones por grupo de alimentos.
Ok, ahí lo estamos viendo en pantalla, entonces vamos a explicarlo.
Sí, la mitad del plato son verduras y la otra mitad contiene lo que es la proteína y los carbohidratos. ¿Por qué las verduras son más con porción mayor? Porque contiene bastante vitaminas, minerales y lo más importante es la fibra. ¿ok? Por ejemplo, tenemos el pepino y le botamos la cáscara, ¿verdad? Entonces la cáscara lo debemos de consumir. Eso ayuda no solo a la diabetes, ayuda a la presión, ayuda a disminuir las grasas malas, colesterol, triglicéridos en el cuerpo y también ayuda a alimentar lo que es el intestino, porque tenemos bacterias en el intestino saludables que consiguen alimentación de estas verduras. Al otro lado del plato tenemos proteínas, que son alimentos de origen animal, como el pollo, pescado, el huevo, y también tenemos de origen vegetal, que es cualquier tipo de frijol, las lentejas también.
Okay.
Y el otro, un cuarto del plato son los carbohidratos, que es el grupo más importante.
Knowing to differentiate between what is considered a balanced meal and what will be considered an unhealthy meal, according to nutritionist Wendy Sanchez, is very important for diabetics.
Una vez que nosotros identifiquemos qué son los carbohidratos y cuáles son, nosotros podemos elegir solamente uno para cada tiempo de comida. Porque si hacemos un caldo y le ponemos papa, le ponemos el sweet corn, le ponemos la pasta, lo comemos con arroz, ya son 4 carbohidratos en un tiempo de comida. Entonces la recomendación es, si yo voy a consumir la papa del caldo, entonces yo le pongo más verduras verdes.
And while a healthy diet is essential, there is no need to completely cut carbs from our diets, according to the experts.
Necesita de todo. Acuérdese que nuestro cerebro está guardado en el organismo para producir azúcar. Eso tiene un costo metabólico, llamamos, que es la producción de tóxicos o desechos en el cuerpo que le van a dar más trabajo a nuestro riñón, van a generar inflamación en el organismo y una cascada de situaciones negativas en la salud, en el metabolismo del cuerpo.
Just as important as a healthy diet is maintaining regular exercise. With this in mind, the NRH and other partners with support from the Taiwan ICDF have launched a heart strategy to provide free workout sessions in our community.
El abordaje integral en el tratamiento del paciente, como vemos en el diagrama acá, pues parte importante y esencial el estilo de vida saludable, lo cual se compone de alimentación balanceada, actividad física en lo posible, monitoreo de su glucosa, tratando de manejar niveles de glucosa en rangos seguros.
One of the main goals within the health sector is to prevent unnecessary amputations in diabetic patients, which can be achieved through a number of steps, including daily self-checks at home.
Que te hagan una amputación de un dedo, de un miembro, para alguien es algo menor, pero cuando te toca a ti, te cambia la vida, no solo a ti como paciente, sino a todo tu núcleo familiar. Genera disabilidades, tristemente. No todos los pacientes que se amputan pueden rehabilitarse y conseguir una prótesis y reincorporarse a la sociedad, hacer una vida normal.
In commemoration of World Diabetes Day, which is upcoming on November 14th, the Lions Club is also partnering with different stakeholders to host an awareness walk on November 16th here in Orange Walk.
Vamos a realizar el día 16 de noviembre una actividad a nivel municipal con la participación de diferentes sectores. Es una caminata el 16 de noviembre a las 6:30 de la mañana. Nos vamos a reunir en el Parque Central de Orange Walk y vamos a hacer una caminata de 5 kilómetros, básicamente siguiendo la misma ruta que tuvo el Cancer Walk este año, con el apoyo del Ministerio de Salud como Hospital Regional del Norte, con GECOPAB, el Club de Leones de Orange Walk y San Esteban, y estamos invitando a las diferentes instituciones a que se sumen
more news after the break. Stay tuned.
This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Belize has raised serious concerns regarding Israel's recent announcement to officially withdraw cooperation from the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East. This decision coincides with the Israeli Parliament's approval of a new law that prohibits any engagement with the agency and bans its operations within Israel territory, a measure set to be implemented early next year. In response, the Belizean government strongly condemns Israel's actions, emphasizing the irreplaceable role of UNRWA in delivering critical support to vulnerable Palestinian communities. Officials warned that Israel's lack of collaboration with the agency, combined with ongoing military actions, could lead to a drastic surge in casualties and suffering due to shortages of food, water, and health care, with the most severe impacts felt by children, women, and elderly. Belize is calling on the global community to take steps to prevent the dismantling of the UNRWA and to uphold international humanitarian law. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, has suggested that the new legislation is a response to alleged infiltration by Hamas with UNRWA, a claim that, according to Israel, has not been adequately addressed by the United Nations. UNRWA has consistently requested that Israel provide evidence to substantiate these allegations, but no such evidence has been forthcoming. Philippe Lazarani, the agency's leader, has expressed frustration over the situation, noting that without evidence, UNRWA cannot adequately respond to the allegations and that these accusations threaten to undermine the agency's essential humanitarian work. During this crisis, UNRWA continues to be the main provider of aid in Gaza, offering education, health care, and essential services. Despite the new legislation, Israel has indicated in its correspondence with the UN that it will maintain cooperation with international partners and other UN entities to facilitate aid to Gaza. However, aid organizations have consistently reported significant delays and perilous conditions impeding the distribution of essential supplies due to ongoing conflicts. Today, the entire globe, including Belize, is monitoring a pivotal moment in American history as voters across the nation head to the polls to select their next president in what has become a fiercely contested race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. With the outcome hanging in the balance, both candidates have turned their final appeals to the voters, emphasizing their contrasting visions for the future of the country. As of this morning, polls indicate a near tie between the two candidates, with key battleground states like Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin poised to play crucial roles in determining the ultimate victor. Both candidates will need to secure at least 270 electoral votes to be declared winner, and with such tight races in critical areas, voter turnout is expected to be at an all-time high. In a series of energetic radio interviews today, Vice President Kamala Harris focused her message on progress and unity. On the other side of the aisle, former President Trump exuded confidence at a rally declaring it won't even be close. While he maintains a positive outlook on his chances of capturing the presidency again, Trump cautioned that it's gonna take a long time to certify the results, hinting at the potential for protracted counting due to the expected influx of mail-in ballots. Historically, election night results can shift dramatically as the counting progresses. Furthermore, the possibility of recounts looms large, especially in Pennsylvania, where any victory margin of less than half a percentage point could trigger a mandatory recount. With both candidates locked in tight races, the stakes have never been higher, and the prospect of an electoral tie resulting in a decision by the House of Representatives creates additional tension leading up to the final vote count. The coming hours and days promise to be some of the most critical yet in determining the future direction of the United States, with both candidates and the electorate watching closely as the counts unfold. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, November 6th here on CTV3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.